Welcome back. Let's discuss spheres. The PH sounds like an F, so it's not spears, like something you throw, but it is spheres. A sphere is like a ball. It has no flat polygon or even a circle for a surface. It has no faces, in other words. It's all curve. So we can't just add up the faces to find the surface area. Instead, we have this formula. Surface area equals 4 times pi times the radius squared. Well, in this particular one, we have the distance all the way across it. So that's the diameter, 30 units, and the radius then would be half of that, 15 units. When we are going to calculate with pi, we're going to use 3.14. Now, that's not the only value that you could use. Some people carry it out further. Some use the pi button on the calculator. It really is up to you, but I'm going to use 3.14. So I have 4, I have 3.14, and I have radius squared is 15 squared. If I type it in the calculator, I've got 4 times 3.14 times 15 squared, and I get 2,826, and this will be units squared. Well, you can give your answer in terms of pi as well. That means that here where we had 3.14, we would instead leave the pi symbol there. So we would have 4 times pi times 15 squared. But we would not put 3.14. We would just leave the symbol there. Everything else gets multiplied as normal. You get 900. And then pi goes with that. And you still have units squared. Now, this is sometimes referred to as the exact surface area, not because this number is unable to be rounded or anything like that, but this value that you get in certain problems could still be rounded, but we did not use an approximated value of pi. We used the exact value. We left the pi symbol there to represent itself. Well, you don't always have an entire sphere. Sometimes you have part of one. And in this second example, we have half of a sphere we'll call a hemisphere. It also has a circle here that's going to be having a radius or a diameter, in this case a radius. And we're still going to use the same formula, but we are going to have to adjust it somewhat. Because this is half of a sphere, and the formula is for finding the total surface area of all the curved surface of an entire sphere, we're going to have to divide this by 2. Okay, so for the surface area for a hemisphere, we're going to take the surface area for an entire sphere and divide it by 2 because we have only half of that. But that's not all of the surface. That's just the curved part of the surface. When this sphere is cut in half, you're left with this flat portion here on the top of this diagram that is a circle. And we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So that's an additional surface that we need to include. Well, 4 divided by 2 reduces to 2 over 1. So we have 2 pi r squared plus another pi r squared makes a total of 3 pi r squared. And we can just use that as our formula if we're dealing with the hemisphere. So for our problem, we would have 3. We'd have 3.14. And we would have the radius of 16 squared. And I get a total of 2,411.52, and this will be units square. And if we needed to find this in terms of pi, we could do it the same way we did in example 1. But here I'll just leave it, and we can round any kind of way that we need to, but this is unrounded from the 3.14 value being used. See you next time.